There's also some other news. The I don't know if you heard this, but the first game, week 1, will be on Friday in Brazil, exclusively on Peacock.
And it's the Eagles in Brazil. I forget the other
The
team.
Eagles in Brazil, yeah. I forget
Who
the
is
other team also.
Eagles looks like they got better this offseason, though. I feel like the Eagles had a really good free agency.
That means nothing. And the reason why I say that is because last year, supposedly, they won the fucking offseason. You know what I mean? They supposedly won the offseason. They did all this good stuff. Where were they? They were silent after what? Week 12?
But here's the thing, right? They won the offseason last season due to the draft, which we all know you're doing well if you hit 50% of the time. They won this offseason, at least so far, due to free agency, which is a lot easier to tell what you're getting. And they got that Huff to D end from the Jets. They got Saquon Barkley, which is huge. And they got a good linebacker, Zach Bond. Bottom line is they addressed some needs. Now cornerback is still a really big need because they lost their nickel, who's really good, Avonte Maddox, or he's at least a free agent and that's still unsigned. And Bradbury's obviously washed. And some are saying that Slay is washed too. Big play Slay. Big pay Slay.
Yeah.
is starting to be a drag on their defense.
This is what I'm saying. They might have made moves, but they're still lunkered down with some of the same issues. And it's costing them cap. And last year they drafted the Georgia defense, the rest of the Georgia defense, championship defense, right? Where did that get them? They got one linebacker, cool. Now they got 1 out of 3 that can hold water.
Yeah, and they also lost.
You know what I mean? They've got issues.
They also lost Fletcher Cox, which is massive. I think they re-signed C.J. Gardner-Johnson.
I didn't even hear. Yeah,
yeah, Fletcher Cox retired, so he's all the way out of the NFL completely.
You lost Cox and you lost Kelsey.
Yeah,
that is huge.
That
is
in the middle.
Huge. Those are 2 megaliths on the line, in the center of the line.
Because Jason Kelsey
I don't know.
was a huge part of that. The way he was able to get so low as a center.
That might actually cause him issues later on.
Mitch, tell us how you feel about the free agency. I'm saying I feel like you guys did really well in free agency. How do you feel going into the draft as an Eagles fan? He's an Eagles fan, so it's always good.
This is the other thing. I'm pretty sure, now Mitch, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the dynamic on that team is like Sirianni's the head coach, but I don't think he gets to hire the people underneath him. If that's the case, then I think there's kind of like an atmosphere set up to be cutthroaty type of atmosphere, because everybody's kind of looking for their way, their promotion, you know what I mean? I don't know if that's necessarily the best atmosphere for somebody like Sirianni. It might be some of the reasons why he's had some issues. I just kind of wonder why Kels retired, because I know he came out, said he was retired, and he's like, whoa, I need to think about this, right? Because you have to, you know what I mean? You gotta rationally think about that. And I'm wondering what made him go, yeah, my knee-jerk reaction was the right one. That when he laid everything out. And I think it might have to do with something in the environment in the locker room. And this is all just speculation from my end. But that's what I think it was. And if that is the case that Kels left, that's also going to be the case. They have issues getting back to the levels that they were 2 years ago, or even earlier this season.
I will say whoever hired their OC in DC, I think they did a pretty good job. They brought in Vic Fangio as the DC. He's widely regarded as one of the best. And Kellen Moore, he's a former Cowboys offensive coordinator. They were pretty prolific on offense while he was there. I don't know about scoring touchdowns, but they definitely racked up a lot of yards. So I think they're a lot better on the coordinator positions than they were in 2023, in my opinion. But obviously those guys got fired.
I'll give you that. Keelan Mond, the one thing I think about when I think about him is that play in the divisional game, the last play in the divisional game. Like, what are you trying to do with that, homie? Like that. The one where Ezekiel was center, and it was not this year, not last year, but the year before that, 3 years ago. So I think that of that play, when I think of him, and it's hard to like not stop my head slap motion from that.
Mitch was saying Kelsey's a family man. He wanted to be with his family more. So
well, every Bill player wants to be with his family more. Like, look at, what was his name? Fucking Mac, the center we had 2 years ago. He didn't run it back with us after going to the Pro Bowl.
Alex Mack.
Yep. And he all of a sudden was like, you know what? I just got married. Fuck it. But this is the thing. Like, they had their money. But if you were a family man, then when he first knee-jerked retired, you wouldn't come back out of retirement. You'd be like, yep, family man. I've been waiting for this moment because now I get to do my family man shit, right? And then he's like, wait a second. Nope. Which, I don't know. There might be some remorse that made him have to think about that. But I don't know. If I'm retiring to be a family man, I don't have to worry about money. Once I've made that decision, whether it was knee-jerk or not, I'm not going back from it in any hesitation, really. Because I don't have to. There's nothing, you know what I mean?
What's the difference between like a family man and then like a full-time family man where you're doing it morning, noon, and night? That could be a lot for some guys after, most of a lifetime of not doing it. It could be a little bit of a culture shock.
Joe Staley retired, and it wasn't a season until he had a job where he was back and around the area. He wasn't like spending all the time here, this, that, but he had gigs to bring in money. And he wasn't like at home 100% of the times because you're going to go stir crazy. He had to figure out something to do. You know what I mean? I'm sure Jason Kelsey will find something to do. He'll probably have like a hobby or start owning a ranch or something. And I could see him throwing around animals out there somewhere.
Thank you for watching our No BS TED clips. Feel free to watch the full condensed show or one of my other videos. And if you're feeling awesome, hit that subscribe button and have a wonderful day.